What's up, everyone? It's your boy Nate Breeze. You might notice something different about me this time, and that is my real voice. All right, this time it's my real voice. It's really me. That's live. I was just playing around with some new tools, which I'll go over in this video. We'll talk a little bit about how you can create your own AI avatar along with your own voice. Hopefully, your voice sounds a little bit more natural than mine came out. But I'll show you some of the tools that I've used, and that's actually a lot of people are using these days to alter their voices, or sometimes you might see videos where it's someone talking just like the ones that you saw with me, with the voice sounds a little bit off and you're not sure, hey, is this video real? Is it fake? So in this video, we'll talk a little bit about some of the tools that you can use to make your own AI avatar. The first tool we're going to discuss is by ElevenLabs. This is the tool that I used initially to try to alter my voice, to create an AI voice, an AI version of myself, so I wouldn't have to basically narrate and I can try to do an AI version. So for those of you who are wondering, what was up with my voice in the last one, it was me basically experimenting with several of these different softwares, which we'll go over so you can kind of get an idea of which one might be a good fit for you and your applications. So this tool is by ElevenLabs. If you go to elevenlabs.io, you'll be able to navigate to their application. In this example, you'll see on the screen basically the example that I used in the video. It says, a short dialogue. Hello, everyone. I'm Nate Breeze, a Trinidadian American producer, musician, and DJ. As you noticed in one of the first early attempts with the AI, it kept saying like Trinidadian. So obviously it didn't get my voice all the way right, and it didn't get my accents and, some of my different tones and inflections, right? So if you want something perfect with ElevenLabs, there's a paid version, which you would basically get credits here, and I am on one of the tiers, but if you keep basically feeding it more information, the more accurate the voice will become. So if you select the model, which is the long form content, where you would basically record, I believe it's several hours of your voice data, and you give it to ElevenLabs, they will analyze your voice a little bit better, and that way it would come up with something a little bit more accurately sounding than what I did, right? I actually did the shorter variation, which wasn't too bad. So if you see here, it says NB voice, and then it shows you like the model that I used over on the left hand side. Now, when I put in my speech, I selected, like I mentioned, the short version model, so it didn't really spend enough time going over all my different inflections. I just sent a very short script. I believe it was 2 minutes of recorded audio or something to that effect. And basically what came out was what you heard in the video. Once you click generate speech, you'll hear it with the voice that you chose.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nate Breeze, a Trinidadian American producer.
So with that one, I had to do it several different times. I played around with several of these parameters until I got it to say Trinidadian, right? But it kept saying Trinidadian. So this is ElevenLabs. This one also has an API associated with it. So if you did want to connect the API into a different program, which I'll show you shortly, you can also do that. So basically, ElevenLabs allows you to generate text, or you can actually put your own text in there and your own dialogue recorded, and then it will generate your voice in like a AI version. All right, so ElevenLabs is a very neat product. It also has different tools that you can use relevant to different AI. So say for example, you think that your voice doesn't sound that good and you don't really want to mess around with that too much, you can also go over to the voices tab and you'll see there's tons of presets already, right? So like let's just say you click on this Clyde.
Rather regret the things that I've done than the things that I've not done.
Right.
Rather regret the things that I've done than the things that I've not.
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
There is no greater harm than that of time wasted.
Right, so there's tons of different voices, many different accents and dialects that are already pre-programmed into the software and the application. But if you want to try out your own, you would click on add a new voice. You would basically get on one of the paid plans so you can clone your own data and try to get an AI voice, and hopefully it comes out a little bit more realistic than mine sound. But as AI continues to improve, hopefully in a future video I'll bring back AI Nate Breeze for you. So the next tool we'll move on to is called HeyGen. Now HeyGen, this is the tool that I actually use to create my AI avatar. So now 11 is used for the voice, HeyGen is unique in that it creates an actual avatar. So as you see on the screen, that was an earlier version of me experimenting with my hoodie to try to make it look natural. And that version, I basically submitted a short video clip of myself just like this, talking, doing hand motions, and talking as naturally as I could for 2 whole minutes, right? And once you do that, you would submit that footage into HeyGen, and then it basically, does the computer magic and turns that short amount of footage into an actual avatar. Now, once you have your avatar, you would basically then click on the AI voice part, and you can add your own voice, or it will use the voice and that it got from the video, and it will basically try to do what ElevenLabs does and generate an AI version. But sometimes the voice generated here is a little wonky as well, so keep that in mind. It might not be as good as the one coming out of ElevenLabs, but you can still do that. So as you see, my face looking completely lost here in this picture. But this one is basically, once you create your avatar, you submit a short version of yourself talking, and then when it's done, you get something like this. So,
hey Nate, your instant avatar is ready. Try creating videos with it. Also, click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy.
Right. So as you can see, it looks very good so far, right? But you can see the head motions a little bit kind of moving unnaturally. And that's because in my pre-recorded videos, I might have been moving a little around and my head around a little bit. And when it does the AI voice, it basically superimposes that voice onto my body and it makes it move a little bit more natural. So as I was waving my hand, sometimes you might have seen in the video, my hand may have just went different crazy directions. It's because that's what the AI does, right? So if you want a very natural looking one, you might want to just sit still, don't move around too much, and you'll be able to get a better take. But in my situation, I was experimenting, so I can bring you this news about these different tools and you can see how things are done. All right, so this is the HeyGen, basically AI avatar generator. And if you wanted to use the vocals that we generated from the ElevenLabs, you would basically use the API key found on ElevenLabs, and you would connect it through to HeyGen. So you would use the API key from ElevenLabs, connect it to HeyGen, right? And that way you can bring over the ElevenLabs voice over to your HeyGen model, and maybe you might get a little bit more accurate look than I got as well. All right. Awesome. So the next tool we'll talk about is a bit of a bonus tool. It's something that I kind of came across when I was trying to find that accurate voice solution, which I'm still in search of, obviously, because of my different tone or, a different dialect, sometimes different accent. It's very hard for the AI to track us, right? So basically, as AI continues to improve, or if you feed it tons of audio data, it will use machine learning to adapt to your voice, right? So keep that in mind. Things are changing rapidly and there are several solutions that are always being in the works. So the next one we'll talk a little bit about is Fish Audio. This one is a new tool that I came across. It does basically the same thing. It allows you to do a text to speech model, and you can build your own voice. And basically you would go into the main page. It's obviously saying it's the most realistic AI speech, but once you log into the model, you would basically do the same kind of thing, right? You do the text to speech model, you upload the text that you wanted to say, and then their built-in AI voice, which does a very good job as well, will also emulate your voice, right? So say for example, I use my NB test voice, which is my Nate Breeze voice, and then I do a create. This one is very fast. Let's see if it's as fast as it was the other
Coral
day.
reefs
So
form through the gradual accumulation of calcium carbonate secreted by tiny marine polyps.
Right.
These
So
diverse ecosystems
I
provide
don't know
shelter.
if I sound like that, but that's another tool. That's another AI voice generator. That's Fish Audio. So the three tools we went over briefly today were HeyGen, ElevenLabs, and Fish Audio, right? Two of those are voice generators, ElevenLabs and Fish Audio. The other one also has a voice generator in it, but you have to pay to get access to that one. And that one is within the HeyGen as well to get the good model, right? There is one for the base model as well, but that basically just rips the voice that you send with your video. But HeyGen is how you would make the AR avatar video. So if you wanted to make a clone of yourself, if for those of you who are, better spoken than I am or have a little bit clear accent, and you can't really tell, you can use either of those solutions to get the AI avatar. Thank you once again for tuning into the video. Be sure to like and subscribe.